Today for our lesson what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making something really cool, really fun, and I'm sure you will have hours and hours of fun playing with it. So today what we're going to be making is we're going to be making some moon sand. And for your moon sand you only need a number of different ingredients. So the first thing that you need is some flour. Second thing you need is some oil. Now you can have vegetable oil or any oil at all that's in your cupboard. Or if you have baby oil at home as well, you can use that. So for today, I'm just going to use some vegetable oil. The next thing you need is a cup. And your final thing then is a wooden spoon or something to stir your moon sand. So when we're making our moon sand, we need to count out, we need to measure the different quantities. So when I say quantities, that means the amount. Okay, so for today, instead of using a weighing scales, we are going to be using a cup. And for our moon sand, we need 4 cups of flour and 1 cup of vegetable oil. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my flour, I'm going to open it up, and we're just going to measure out 4 cups. Once it gets full to the top, I'm just going to pour that in. So that's 1 cup, 2 cups, 3 cups, and 1 more. 4 cups. Okay, so I've got 4 cups here. I need 1 cup of oil. So today I'm going to be using my vegetable oil. So all I have to do is pour this in. Keep going until it's full to the top. Okay, and once it's full to the top, I get to pour it all in on top of my 4 cups of flour. Okay, so this is the fun part. I'm using a wooden spoon to mix. You can use a normal spoon, anything at home. If you really want, you can get in with your hands as well. If you have food colouring at home, you can put that in on top as well, and you can make different coloured moon sands depending on the food colouring that you're using. Or if you have any essential oils, you can put them in as well, and they will give it a nice smell. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mix it around and around, so give it a good mix. Keep going until it gets a little bit harder to move. Okay, so as you can see, it's getting a little bit harder to move now with my wooden spoon. So at this point, I'm going to put the wooden spoon down and I'm going to start mixing it with my hands. Okay, so get right in there, feel the different texture. Does anyone know what that word means, texture? It means how something feels. So you can just get in there, mixing it up. Now, if you feel it's a little bit wet, you can add a bit more flour to it. And if you feel it's too dry, you can add a bit more oil to it as well. Okay, so just get right in there, keep mixing it up, going until it kind of is like a crumbly kind of a texture. Okay, so it feels like a crumb. Right, so that's okay. So I think my moon sand is almost ready. Getting really mixed up now. So you can just put it through your fingers. Once it starts crumbling through your fingers, that's when you know that your moon sand is ready. Okay, so it's starting to crumble up now. That's the consistency or the texture that we want. They're big words. So that's how it should feel, like little crumbs. So I'm going to take my moon sand out and I'm going to put it here on the counter. Now, this is the fun part, okay? So with your moon sand, I want you to lay it out on a tray or a plate or a counter if you have one at home. And I want you to go around the house now and try and find some different things that you could use to create different shapes with moon sand. So I have found my house. I've got a fork, I've got a knife, I've got a spoon, and I've also found some cutters. So I happen to have a Mickey Mouse cutter, and I've also found another cutter that is a circular shape. So what I want you guys to do now is to go around your house and try and find a few different utensils that you can use to create different shapes with your moon sand. Okay, boys and girls, so I've been very busy and I've been making a few different things. So as you can see, this is what the moon sand should look like close up. It should kind of resemble breadcrumbs and look like the sand that you find on the moon. So it's really, really relaxing. You could just play with it like this. Very, very good for calming down and chilling out. So sometimes I just love to play with the moon sand just in a box like that. So some of the shapes that I've made, can you make out some of the things that I've made? I'm just going to zoom over here. So the first thing that I've made is I flattened down the moon sand and I've used a knife to cut out, what shape is that? Yep, a triangle. I've rolled a ball. I've made what's that? A square, well done. Down here, remember I had my Mickey Mouse cutter. So I've used this to make Mickey Mouse and I put his face on. I've used my moon sand and my fork to make different patterns, and I was having a lot of fun there making a man before I finished up. So I would love to see if any of the boys and girls at St. Thomas's make moon sand. I'd love to see it. You can share it on the parents group on Facebook, and we'd love to see your different creations as well, because I'm sure the imagination is going to be fantastic with some of the stuff that you're going to make. So we'll see you then on Facebook, hopefully. For parents, you can see it's quite an easy activity to do at home, and not only is it a fun activity for the children, but there are a number of teaching points that you can get through this activity also. Firstly, for children who have difficulties maybe with their fine motor development, maybe they struggle to hold a pencil or to grip things, it's a really fun activity for them to develop the muscle tone in their fingers. Another activity that you could do is just a simple spooning of, get a small spoon and spooning the different mixture from one cup to another cup. For children who have sensory processing difficulties, it's a really good one to help them regulate their emotions if they're having a bad day or a bad part of the day. It can be a very calming activity for them. So again, to keep it in the lunchbox, if they need just to take it out and to help regulate their emotions and calm down as well. The opportunities for language are endless. The different creations that the children can create, talking about them, drawing pictures, maybe the procedure, how you would make the moon sand, right up to sequencing the different steps involved in making the moon sand. For maths, as you can see earlier on, with shapes, creating triangles, ovals, whatever it might be, right up to counting, or even doubling the quantity. So we had 4 cups and 1 cup of oil. You could ask the children to double that, or what if you had triple that as well, depending on their ability. So there are a number of different activities that you can do. We'd love to see if you do end up making this at home with the children, to share it in the Facebook page, the parents group. And until next time, take care. Bye bye.